As I can always dream, but then I wake up and it's me again. I think it's so heartbreaking, but also such a universal feeling for so many young people, particularly young women. I think it's so beautiful.
Rachel Zegler is back in the headlines once again, and honestly, something about her situation feels increasingly troubling. There's a restlessness in her voice, an unease in her behavior that suggests something deeper than simple bad press. She doesn't seem happy. Not with her career, not with the public perception, maybe not even with herself. When Rachel first began speaking out, her fans defended her passion. They called her fearless, unfiltered, and unafraid to challenge the Hollywood machine. But over time, that boldness started looking less like confidence and more like instability. Like so many others in the industry, she's lost her grounding. Fame can do that. It builds you up faster than you can understand yourself. And when the world turns on you, it happens in seconds. People keep avoiding the obvious truth. Respect isn't something that can be demanded or automatically given. It has to be earned. And that's exactly where Rachel keeps falling short. She struggles to express herself in a way that actually helps her image. Every word she says feels raw, unfiltered, almost too honest for her own good. She didn't realize she was being recorded, didn't know that her private words would be leaked, and she definitely didn't expect the entire internet to hear them. But they did. In the leaked audio, her voice trembles as she says, "It's hard. It's lonely. Very lonely. But if that loneliness exists, then other things can too. And I'll be okay." Now, another twist in the ongoing Rachel Zegler Evita saga has thrown everything into chaos. This time, it isn't a shaky video or a cryptic message thread. It's her voice, clear and unfiltered. A leaked audio clip, allegedly captured during the final rehearsals of the Evita revival, has begun spreading rapidly through private theater groups, fan forums, and influencer DMs. Within hours, it went viral. The recording captures a vulnerable moment where Rachel reflects on her life in the spotlight. "I never wanted to seem ungrateful for the opportunities I've been given," she says quietly. "This has been the biggest adjustment of my life. Trying to understand how to live like this, to be who I am and do what I do. There's so much pressure, and I don't think I'm handling it well. Some people think I'm graceful. Others think I'm failing. Honestly, I'm not sure I'm handling it at all." So what's in this clip that has everyone talking? Why is this particular recording shifting the entire narrative surrounding her? Because if the earlier footage of her meltdown created waves, this one is a full-blown storm, one that might permanently redefine how the world sees Rachel Zegler. It's no longer just a rumor, it's a full-blown war in the fandom. What started as whispers in private group chats has spiraled into one of the most chaotic moments in Rachel Zegler's career. According to multiple insiders close to the production, the leaked audio allegedly captures Rachel in a backstage meltdown during a rehearsal break, her voice raised, emotions raw, and patience seemingly gone. In the recording, you can hear her frustration boiling over as she allegedly criticizes members of the team, calling out what she perceives as unprofessional behavior and creative misdirection. It's not long, just under a minute, and the sound quality is rough. Muffled, shaky, recorded from what seems like a phone hidden in someone's pocket. But it's enough. Enough to make headlines, enough to divide her fan base, and enough to paint a picture people can't stop talking about. The clip hit social media without warning. No tags, no watermark, no description, just an anonymous upload and a caption that read, "Rachel Zegler doesn't even have a single role lined up after Snow White." Within minutes, it blew up. The reaction was immediate and vicious. Comments poured in from both sides, some defending her, saying every artist breaks under pressure, others tearing her apart, accusing her of arrogance and entitlement. And look, I'm not saying I fully understand the complexities of how actors get paid or how Hollywood's system works, but let's be real, in the past few years, it's hard to feel sympathy for millionaire actors complaining about pay gaps while smaller performers struggle to even make rent. The entire movement for fair compensation was supposed to be about them. The background artists, the stage workers, the struggling performers grinding away for roles that barely pay. But somewhere along the way, that message got lost. Instead of fighting for others, it started sounding like a fight for attention. Designer dresses, red carpet sound bites, and emotional speeches about injustice. It became a brand, not a cause. And unfortunately for Rachel, that's how the public saw it too. Within an hour, the audio had spread like wildfire. Private Twitter circles had it first. Then it crept into NSFW theater subreddits, hidden under vague thread titles and insider gossip posts. From there, it jumped to Discord servers run by hardcore Broadway fans, and finally, TikTok got its hands on it. That's when everything exploded. Millions of people started sharing, stitching, reacting, analyzing every second of that faint, grainy clip. There's no video, just a shaking voice in the background of what sounds like a rehearsal hall, echoing slightly off the walls. But even through the static, you can hear the tension, the exhaustion, the breaking point. People instantly recognized the tone. It was Rachel, or at least someone who sounded exactly like her. And then came the line, the one that lit the internet on fire. "The crying only seems real when it's Hollywood," the voice said. But with Rachel, it always feels like she's acting. That one sentence, whether spoken by her or about her, became the quote that defined the scandal. Screenshots, memes, reaction videos, podcasts. Everyone had a theory. Some claimed Rachel snapped and shouted, "This is a joke, none of you get it." Others insisted she said, "This role was mine from day one. Stop questioning me." A few even swore they heard her yelling directly at the director. The truth remains unclear. The audio is too fuzzy to confirm anything. But the emotion cuts through all the noise. She was angry, tired, frustrated, maybe even humiliated. Her tone wasn't just sharp, it was breaking, like someone who had been holding everything in for too long and finally reached the point of no return. And strangely enough, that's what made people stop scrolling. Because beneath all the drama, all the chaos, and all the headlines, there was a flicker of something real. Vulnerability. A rare glimpse of honesty from a celebrity who's built her career on carefully controlled performances. It's messy, emotional, and human. And maybe, in a world full of PR filters and media training, that's exactly what people relate to most. Still, even as some praised her for showing emotion, others saw it as another act, another attempt to manipulate sympathy. The debate raged across social media with hashtags like Zegler leak and Evita drama trending worldwide. By the next morning, the narrative had already split in two, the defenders claiming she was pushed too far, and the critics saying this was proof of her ego. Meanwhile, Rachel's team stayed silent. No statements, no explanations, no denials. Just silence. And that silence spoke louder than any apology ever could. Whether it was anger, exhaustion, or just a private moment gone public, one thing was certain. Rachel Zegler had once again become the internet's obsession. And somewhere between all the chaos, one random tweet summed it up perfectly. Maybe she's right. Maybe we do need more honesty in Hollywood, but also, yeah, dogs are still better than people. This time, it wasn't a still image, a half-frozen screenshot, or a vague line from an anonymous email. It wasn't speculation or rumor whispered through fan accounts. It was something undeniable. It had sound, tone, and texture. It had a voice. Rachel Zegler's voice. Not the carefully crafted, public-facing version people were used to seeing in interviews or red carpet moments, but something raw, unguarded, and heavy with frustration. By the time the clip hit 50,000 views, the damage was already done. TikTok had latched onto it like wildfire. Creators flooded the app with edits, some slowing down the audio to highlight every inflection, others adding subtitles to prove it was Rachel, and a few even comparing it directly to past interviews. They pointed out how drastically different the tone was, how this voice didn't sound like the cheerful, self-assured young actress who charmed press junkets and late-night talk shows. This version sounded tired, cornered, and done pretending. And that's when everything truly blew up. And that's when everything truly blew up. The internet doesn't wait for explanations. It builds its own. Within hours, clips of the audio were being dissected frame by frame, sound by sound. Every slight pause became symbolic. Every breath was overanalyzed. And for many, it wasn't about what she said, but how she said it. The anger wasn't theatrical. It was personal. Still, some tried to defend her. They said maybe she was just young, overwhelmed, still trying to navigate a world that doesn't offer much grace to outspoken women. Maybe she didn't realize that every offhand comment could turn into a headline. Maybe, they said, she just needed time to grow. But others weren't so kind. I'd never even heard of her before this. One viral comment read, "If this was her first big break, she's throwing it away." The internet loves a downfall almost as much as it loves a success story. The criticism was brutal. People demanded to know why she would trash her own movie, why she'd insult the studio that trusted her, or the writer who gave her the role in the first place. It was baffling, a self-inflicted wound in real time. And now, reports were spreading that she was furious about allegedly being dropped from future projects. But when you step back, it's not hard to see why. Hollywood isn't known for patience. Why would anyone want to work with someone who can't hold the line, who doesn't know when to step back and breathe? Because that's what this was. Not Rachel Zegler simply having a bad day, but Rachel Zegler caught in a moment that shattered the illusion of control she'd worked so hard to maintain. Some said it was an act. Others believed it was the first honest thing she'd done in months. But either way, the narrative shifted again. Fast. The leaked audio didn't just confirm suspicions. It redefined the conversation entirely. It gave the internet something tangible, something to replay and reanalyze until every emotion had been categorized and labeled. When it finally hit mainstream YouTube commentary channels, it had already evolved into multiple interpretations. Some creators swore they heard rage, others said it was heartbreak. A few even called it performance art. But one thing everyone agreed on: Rachel wasn't acting, she was furious. According to insiders who claimed to have witnessed the Evita rehearsal firsthand, the moment captured in the recording wasn't scripted. It wasn't a scene from the musical. It wasn't even part of the rehearsal schedule. It was spontaneous, an eruption of raw emotion when she allegedly broke character, turned off her mic, looked off stage, and just let go. The most widely shared transcript spread like wildfire across Twitter threads and Reddit forums. You people don't get it. This role was mine from the start, and you're treating me like I'm disposable. Other alleged lines followed soon after. I'm not a puppet, okay? I'm not here to play nice for you. He's rewriting everything last minute, and I'm the one who looks insane. Don't talk to me like I'm some random girl from Twitter. I'm the lead. Even if the audio was grainy and muffled, the tone was crystal clear. A cocktail of anger, exhaustion, and wounded pride. Beneath the static, you could hear years of pressure collapsing all at once. The bitterness was there, the entitlement maybe, but also something more complicated. Fear. Fear of losing control, of being misunderstood, of watching a dream turn into a spectacle. That last quote, "I'm the lead," became the lightning rod. Within hours, it was trending on X, formerly Twitter. Thousands began remixing it, mocking it, turning it into memes, songs, and parody sketches. The phrase was looped into edits with flashing captions and dramatic sound effects. Some laughed, some cringed, but no one could look away. Soon, the discourse shifted from the clip itself to what it represented. To her critics, this was the long-awaited proof that Rachel was exactly what they'd suspected. Arrogant, self-absorbed, and difficult to work with. They called it confirmation that the tension behind Evita wasn't gossip after all. It was real, and it was spiraling out of control. But her defenders pushed back hard. To them, this wasn't a tantrum, it was a cry for help. A moment of human collapse from a young woman shouldering too much too soon. They pointed out how every word in the recording came from exhaustion, not ego. "It's not arrogance," one TikTok user wrote, a comment that gathered more than 25,000 likes. "It's burnout. You can only stay calm for so long before you break." That's the thing about moments like this. They reveal more about the audience than the person in the clip. Some saw a villain, others saw a victim. And in the middle of all that noise stood Rachel, silent, watching as the world dissected her every word. The irony is almost cinematic. In trying to defend her role, she lost control of her narrative. And by the time the memes, think pieces, and reaction videos were done, the truth didn't matter anymore. The clip had already taken on a life of its own. It became more than just a recording. It became a mirror, reflecting the fragility of fame, the hunger of the internet, and the impossibility of being perfect in a world that thrives on imperfection. Whether Rachel was wrong, misunderstood, or simply human, the world had already decided which version of her it preferred.